How are you?
Hey, we're okay. We've got some people watching. That's amazing.
I see that.
Welcome to all of you. Throw something in the chat and let us know who's out there, because YouTube is all messed up. But it's just the home screen, folks. If you go directly from the link that's in the WhatsApp group, you're here. If you go to the Watch Hangout channel, you can find us. We're just not on anybody's home screen tonight because the home screen worldwide on YouTube is kaputski. But it is working. So we're glad that you're here. We're glad that you are joining us this evening. We need all of your upvotes because we want to do some unboxings a little bit later after we get done with the topic tonight. So please go upvote. You know what? I haven't even upvoted myself. There we go. Now I've upvoted. So break out the troll accounts. We need at least 30 upvotes to get things going. There's only 22 watching. We may not get 30 upvotes tonight, in which case we'll do some unboxings next week. We may have a smaller audience than usual because of the YouTube home screen being down, but we're still going to have a good show for you.
It's back for me.
Is the YouTube home screen back?
It is. I went to upvote.
Good.
Yeah.
Let me see what's on. Let me check mine real quick and see what we've got here. Yep, it's back. Great. Fantastic. So critical times avoided. So there we go.
YouTube said the Watch Hangout streaming. We just got to get shit together.
That's right. We got to get this thing fixed so people can find the Watch Hangout. So yeah, so 30 upvotes. We'll do some unboxings this evening. Hopefully D Wood Coffee Co., your home screen will come back up. It's up here in the United States. I'm not sure where you are, but I know this was a worldwide issue because I talked to folks over across the pond at the UK that it was down, and another group I was in, it was down everywhere. So what was that, Nate?
You so fancy talking to people over the pond.
I know.
Look at this. EMC 14,000. I'm struggling with YouTube. Yeah, I had 5 tabs open, none work. It says retry. I opened YouTube and Apple Store thinking there was an update and found us.
Hey,
you're welcome.
Well, EMC,
welcome from the Apple Store.
See?
So EMC, because you are a first-time viewer, you're a first-time viewer, right, EMC? I don't remember you here before, maybe. I don't know. Oh, but you know what? I don't care. We're going to give you an entry into tonight's race. Just because it's in the Apple Store. So EMC, or the App Store, I should say. EMC, you are the first entry in tonight's race. If you super chat, member chat, join the channel, all of that stuff, you also get an entry into the race. So come on down and super chat. Let's see who's in tonight. First of all, though, let's see what's on the wrist this evening. Let's start off with Blake because he's the easiest one for me to find and make big screen first. The worst for first. No, I'm just kidding. I love that watch. It's the one Hublot I get. It's the one Hublot I've actually worn. That very one, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I was at the Tag Heuer boutique to drop my my Zenith off because it's going back again to Switzerland.
Yeah,
and I figured I had to wear something in brand, and I don't have a tag, and all I have is Hublot and Zenith, and I figured there's a Hublot boutique next door to the Tag boutique, so that seemed like the right choice.
We've got the Pastrami King. What is on? I think I know what's on the wrist tonight.
Yeah, it's the usual pre-unboxing from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Very cool. Because Mitch has an unboxing this evening. Let's see which Universal Genève is on Jen's wrist this evening. Which one, Jen?
I don't always wear Universal Genève, but when I do,
Yeah, but when I do,
the Calatrava on purple cross Sean
very nice.
gift from Mitch.
That may be that and your Golden Shadow are my two favorites of your collection, I
They're
think.
pretty good. Both of them are pretty good.
Yeah. Although the original one, you had the little blue dial that Blake sent you is damn pretty too.
Yeah.
Let's check out with Nate, a man who has our other unboxings this evening. What's on the wrist, sir? Oh, a Cartier. Gee.
That would be the Cartier Tank Americaine with the exploding Arabic dial. That's actually what it's called. Exploding
really?
Arabics. Yep.
Interesting.
I love it. That's very cool. Well, I have an unveiling for you guys tonight. When this watch first came out, when they first reintroduced this in 2024, early 25, I thought the price was a little steep. Luckily, they're not so steep anymore. So I picked up a G-Shock Gravity Master.
Nice.
Which I think is very cool. And it wears great. Solar powered.
Oh, nice.
Is that Annie Digi? Is there a
no,
screen on there?
No, it's all Annie.
Nice.
So you have your second time zone is right here. And obviously your main time zone is there. It's very easy to switch up time zones and set the watch because you can connect it to the Casio app.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so you can do everything in the app. You can set your alarms in the app, all of that kind of stuff. I know some people don't like to connect any watch to their phone, but I don't really have a problem with it in this case or in any case. I mean, everybody should just do their own thing and don't worry about it. Do what you like. But I really like this watch and I thought it was very cool. And I loved it when it first came out and I said, oh, I got to get that. And then it's like, oh, that's $400. Nah, we'll wait a while. So now you can get them for about, I paid a little over $200 for it. So about 40% off of that original MSRP. So
okay,
I will take that. Now, if I can get this back on my wrist, which I just did, let's go see who's in the chat. Of course, we know EMC is in the chat. We got, we know he's in the chat because he's also on the stream. We've got Julius Caesar. Caliber YQG, you are not banned, mobster. If you were, I couldn't see this. Kevin Hawthorne from Lakeland, Florida. Good evening. Good evening. Jay Giddy. Good evening. Thank you for being here, sir. Our man Caliber YQG and Eater upvoted Thomas Burnett up way too late. Don't take your love away from me. Don't leave my heart in misery. If you go, then I'll be blue because breaking up is hard to do. Absolutely.
Thank you for not singing it.
Yes.
Don't take your love. No, okay, fine.
By the way, EMC is Easy E.
Oh, Easy E. Okay,
he's just on a different account.
Gotcha. Well, you're still in the race tonight because I like you. Perth Luxury, welcome. YouTube home screen not out in Australia. Very good. Very good. Well, see, I didn't talk to anybody in Australia, so there you go. Let's see. We've got Mike the Mistake. Hey, everybody, it's time to upvote. Hey, everybody, it's time to upvote. Woo! Yes, sir. We've got D Wood Coffee. My home screen's still down, but I think it's probably back up by now.
Yeah.
We've got EMC with the super chat, so he's in the race anyway. Took some nitrous oxide for Z race later. There you go. No Biggie Sal's in the chat. Liberty Spot, welcome, sir. Yes, they have. But it should be working, folks, now. For I'm hoping everybody. We've got Duco super chat before the comment takes out YouTube again. Yeah, no joke. We'll get you added to the list. Oh, would help if I could type because I just typed in duck. You want to be duck tonight? You could be duck. We got, of course, Mitch in the chat as well as on the stream. We have Booker, why the government's going to steal your time. Okay. And of course, we got Lonely Wrist saying, hi, nerd, to Nerd with Swag.
Hey, Swaggy.
So, hey, hi there, buddy. Did I miss Nerd with Swag saying hi to him? Where is he in here? Oh, there we go. Nerd with Swag. Hi, Bobby, Mitch, Jen, Nate, and Blake. Thank you, man. Hi back to you. And we've got a $2 super chat from Mitch Halpern. Who's that guy? It's Tuesday, but this isn't Belgium. No, it's not. So
but it is Fat Tuesday.
An old movie that was titled, If It's Tuesday, This Must Be Belgium.
Ah, okay. I got you.
I was being obscure again.
Yes, well, that's your specialty.
Showing my age and being obscure, the double whammy.
I would remind everyone that even though today is officially Fat Tuesday, every Tuesday for me is Fat Tuesday. Thank you very much. Good night.
Same here.
Yeah. Oh my, just another Tuesday. So we've gotten over that. Who's in the chat? What's on your wrist? So let's talk a little bit about the topic for this evening. While we're waiting on upvotes to come in, remember we've got some unboxings, but we need 30 upvotes minimum to get them started. So if you would keep those upvotes coming in, that would be greatly appreciated. So we are going to talk about watch brands that should probably or might do better separated from their groups. And first of all, we want to welcome in Scotty H with a $5 super chat, upvoted. Scotty, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Who wants to start? I guess because Mitch, you're going to kind of do an overview of the whole thing. You want to get us started as far as what you think about separating from the groups and who should and who shouldn't?
I spent the vast majority of my career helping large companies come up with growth strategies in a wide variety of industries. And based on that experience, I tend to look at this in terms of what are big conglomerates and or very large companies really good at. And if you look at it, they're really good at forming and maintaining supply chains. They're really good at distribution, and they tend to be really good at manufacturing. And so, and I'm sure there's other things, but I don't want to be talking for the whole show, because my vocal cord won't put up with it. But to me, that means that these conglomerates are a better match for watch companies whose strategy is to make lots of watches and to appeal to very broad, very international audiences at relatively low price points. Whereas companies that consider themselves to be more, watch companies, I should say, that consider themselves to be more artistic and are looking to be sort of horologically important, might be better off either by themselves or finding support in smaller groups that are good with that kind of strategy and will let these more artistic oriented companies do their own thing. And one example of that is the issues that I keep reading about with Swatch Group, that they basically have their hands in all of their brands, and they basically tell Longines what they're allowed to do and not allowed to do. and what Omega is allowed to do and not allowed to do, and what Hamilton, blah, blah, blah. And, it's not clear to me that kind of conglomerate attitude is ultimately a good match for people who launch balloon backgrounds, for the companies of the world that, for Vacheron. Is Vacheron really going to thrive as part of a jewelry-based mega conglomerate, or would they be better off either by themselves, which has its own risks, or backed by some kind of more watch-focused artistic investors?
Yeah.
So, that could go on forever, but that's just my general overview.
Yeah, another example would be, say, you talk about Swatch Group, maybe Blancpain or Breguet, or some of the more artisanal brands within that group. Would they be better off?
Yeah.
So we're going to each talk about some of the brands that we think might be better off without their group. Blake, do you want to start us off? And
Yeah,
I kind of know where you're going, but let's see.
Yeah, I agree actually with Mitch, So I've actually just got a handful that immediately come to mind. Glashütte original, Blancpain, Breguet. From Richemont, Vacheron, Lange. I think Panerai is probably getting screwed by Richemont. Same thing from JLC. So I actually heard today that JLC was making a bid to buy their own company back. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the president was talking about buying it back. So we'll see.
Yeah. I heard that is possibly going through. I think, for example, like with LVMH, I think probably, Bulgari probably could do their own thing, because LVMH is doing fuck all with Bulgari. And then Zenith, is one that it's gossiped right now to be leaving. But if you want to look at it from the other spectrum, I think Longines would be a great exit from Swatch Group, even though Swatch Group has been doing such great things, or should I say with Longines? Longines has been on the up and up. I think that it would just continue upwards, and just with my 2 cents, working with LVMH, Richemont, and Swatch Group, Robert is absolutely right. Swatch Group, has their hands in everything, like everything. And it seems like Richemont also, same thing, like the Richemont executives want to know everything that's going on in every brand. And LVMH has a little bit more like autonomy from what I've experienced. So, they're just like, yeah, there's a couple people at the brand that are ready to make decisions on behalf of the brand, and they can clear everything, versus those same decision makers that exist in other brands, IWC or Panerai or whatever, have to go back to Richemont, executives outside of the brand to get decisions made. So, just a few that I think would be great on their own personally. So.
Yeah, here's something that's I find kind of interesting. Unpopular opinion, although it may be a good opinion, ownership isn't the problem. Pricing and portfolio that appeals to buyers. I think it's that certainly could be said is maybe it's a combination of both. Maybe it's more portfolio and pricing than it is the owners.
I definitely think a lot. This is the case for 90% of the brands. I feel like they're definitely losing touch with their collector base. Every brand has their own little collectors group, Panerai, Paneristes, or, it's the one that comes immediately to mind. But if these brands actually listen to the people that bought their watches, they'd sell more of them versus doing what they think is in the best interest of a shareholder, right? Like, if people buy your watches, the shareholder value is going to go up, right? You're going to make more money. Listen to your buyers. Like, you don't know what's best for these brands, and people get that kind of twisted around. So,
well, do you think though, if more of these brands were independent, they would listen to their buyers, whereas now they're more beholden to a group think than listening to their buyers?
I think what happens with these brands is they worry about like cannibalization of other brands and other products, you know? So like, let's just say, for example, Longines wants to launch an $800, you know, like automatic dive watch, right? But then they get rid of the Hamilton khaki, right? Like they take that immediately off the map. And then buyers are deciding between this Longines and this Hamilton, you know? I definitely think some of these groups are more worried about where the money diverts, and it probably has to do with I guess profit, right? Like it's probably more profitable. Hamilton is probably more profitable than Longines, you know, or they make more per unit, right? I don't, the economics, right? Like just as an example, that's probably how they decide where to divert people to spend their money at their most profitable brands within the umbrella. So I think they're just worried about cannibalization of their own collection, their own portfolio.
Yeah, and the thing. Go ahead, Jen.
I think it's hard because, you know, like Blake said, you have a year-over-year expected return of 18% or more from your shareholders, which is unrealistic to begin with. Then I think there's a ton of infighting inside the company. You know, they're trying to get resources so that they can make moves, you know, because each CEO of that company has an expected return on investment that they have to hit. Well, if somebody is sucking resources and not making it possible for them to hit their numbers, then you have all these clashes inside of a company. Longines is one of them. Think about it. Longines is probably the third most productive company in the watch market.
I think they have just as much heritage,
more watches than anybody
as Omega. Personally,
what?
I think Longines has just as much heritage as Omega, but you see Omega.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that has nothing to do with it, but I'm looking at resources. So you have a company that is aimed at the market of, you know, 2,500 to 5,000, maybe even less, depending on what you're looking at. That's their pocket. That's what they sit in. And, you know, they're pulling all those resources from companies that are, you know, trying to sell $15,000, $20,000 watches. You know, they're upset because they're like, well, these guys are small pennies. Well, no, they're not. Volume is king when it comes to that situation. You know, they decided to go for volume instead of, you know, pricing. And so it's like, to me, I think the best idea for some of these companies would be to sign production contracts and distribution contracts with these companies. Because like Longines, they don't have the size to be able to go out on their own and produce like they do under that umbrella. So if they go, okay, you can take care of our production and you can help us with some of the manufacturing, and we are technically spun off, we get to run the business the way we want to run it, and you build things for us. We hire you to build them for us, and we split profits.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. One thing which I wanted to say during my diatribe was that the term independent is a loaded term. Could any of these companies actually survive completely on their own? I don't think so.
I don't know if that would have to be the case, because let's just say, for example, Longines or Hamilton breaks out, or even some of the bigger boys, like specifically Longines and Hamilton, where they're using ETA movements, like
They would
they
have
could,
to have
yeah,
a lot of contracts in place to deal with manufacturing and supply issues.
yeah. I
mean,
think it'd be just as profitable for them to continue operating as they do, right? Like, let's just say, for example, Swatch Group continues to produce watches for Longines. It's just the corporate structure lives outside of Swatch Group, where they still get a percentage of the brand for marketing or for production. That you're right. I don't think they can live independently, but you know, I was just talking to Philip Hurst like today, and he was asking about some of these manufacturers that I knew, like watch brands, because he's working on some stuff. But yeah, there's so many great manufacturing partners out there that can do just as good of technical production as probably Longines or even Swatch Group. They can't make movements the way that they can for other brands. They don't have the same technical prowess, but they can put together a great package.
Well, and there are very few of the so-called independents now that are 100% 100% integrated, vertically integrated. Easy for me to say. Where they integrated? They make all of shut up, Blake. Where they make all of their own stuff. For every part, every piece of the movement, they design the movement, they build them in-house. Very few of the independents right now that do that.
I don't even think that's necessary. Like
no, I don't either. I'm just saying, if you're talking about watch brands now that are part of a group going out on their own, they're always going to have help from somewhere, because even the so-called independents we have now have help from somewhere else.
Well, and I think Glashuta is a perfect example of that. They resurrected a whole watch industry in Glashuta through the idea of, hey, I can make hairsprings and XYZ widgets, for you. And we all work together. We all make a different part. And at the end of the day, we are all able to make the watches that we want to make. And we just help each other. There's still, even the large companies, that still happens. Hairsprings are only made by very, very few companies. So a lot of even the large companies are outsourcing that kind of stuff. Bracelets, they're outsourcing bracelets. They're not making them in-house. We have to remember that it to me, it doesn't make sense anymore to operate that way. You make more money being a manufacturer. You go, hey, I know the glamour's not there. It's not cool. We make parts. Who gives a shit? But then you look at your books and you go, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's okay. And even if you want to do your own watch, you can still do that. But if you're known for manufacturing, you can make a killing. Swatch could make a killing if they just went, you know what? We're done trying to micromanage these businesses. It's a freaking headache. Let's just give them machinery and what they need, distribution lanes and machinery. Let them do their thing.
I think, I think that's a great way to go.
We welcome in DC Chris, $5. Hello, everyone. Hello, DC Chris. You are in the race. Go ahead, Mitch. Sorry.
Argue that the future is getting clearer and clearer, that watch brands are basically going to end up simply as design and marketing houses. And the watches are essentially going to be made by groups of suppliers and subsystem manufacturers.
Welcome to every micro brand ever.
Yep. I know, right?
Yep.
Bingo.
Yeah. So, Nate, do you have a particular watch brand you think would be better independent on their own instead of in a group?
Yeah, I have a couple that are and most of them are personal favorites of mine. I think, but for me, before I even get there, the economy of scale that the large groups get for the back office is what I think is really as much, if not more, than the parts sharing. That's
Right.
why these companies, a lot of them need to belong together, because take Richemont or Swatch, and then say, okay, each of these companies is separate. How many of them are going to individually survive having to pay for their own HR, their own accounting and finance, their own legal, their own C-suite, all of those things, as compared to all together sharing, major marketing contracts where they get economies of scale, sharing the same finance groups and software platforms and all of the back office things that have nothing to do with the actual watch that gets produced and transported and put on wrist. That they just would not have the financial ability based on sales to be able to pay for all of those things and be profitable as a watchmaker, as compared to just contributing a portion to the rolled up Swatch group or the rolled up Richemont in terms of those things. That being said, for me, the brands that I think would be able to survive on their own, and probably not at the scale that they're able to do now, but smaller, but I think potentially more profitable, they're the enthusiast brands. Breguet on its own, not under the Swatch umbrella and pigeonholed into a price category within the Swatch group on its own, I think has the ability to be basically, put them into the same category as any of the high-end independents, even now with what they're doing. On the Richemont side, A. Lange & Söhne. I mean, Lange makes between, around 5,000 watches a year. And right now, my understanding is they're pretty much left alone anyway within Richemont. They don't share their technicians and watchmaking and repair centers. All Richemont product goes to Dallas from the US for work, other than Lange, which either goes to New York to Lange or back to Germany to Lange. Lange on its own, is an independent enthusiast brand that probably can survive on its own, especially if they intend on staying in their price category, and not be subject to the whims of Richemont needing to kind of pigeonhole them somewhere. I think that just sort of taking the mirror image of this also is the independents that are taking on financing right now from some of the larger luxury groups.
Yeah.
What was it? Chanel now owns 25% of MB&F or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember which of the big, luxury brands put money into FP Journe as well. Might be Chanel. I'm not sure exactly which company it was.
Chanel
Yeah.
owns Bell and Ross
LVMH
too.
is in with Acriva and Recep Receppi. They jumped in, did the 25% thing with him, I think, also.
And for me, sort of that mirror image, it doesn't bring those independents into a group, but what it does, at least in my mind, is it means that the brands, their parts, repairs, things like that, outlive the master watchmaker creator of the brand.
Yeah.
For longevity. So for me,
Yeah.
I think it's the enthusiast brands. We've been talking about and reading about how, the former CEO of Richemont, that now is the head person at Jaeger-LeCoultre, is contemplating a tender offer to break JLC away. JLC is another brand, because of its history, that either belongs on its own or belongs in a small watchmaking group. Back in the 1950s in the US, like Vacheron and Constantin, because that's how it was labeled at that point, was the distributor for JLC within the United States. So, it doesn't need to be, completely, these brands don't need to be completely on their own. They certainly can be partnered with another brand or two, sort of as a mini group. but it takes them out of sort of the corporate overlords, and also, allows them to have some of those economies of scale for the things that are not watchmaking related.
Yeah.
And Robert, when you were talking about, vertical integration, I think those were the words that you used. I couldn't really tell.
Yeah, sure.
But in terms of vertical integration, the ones that just come to mind right now, H. Moser. H. Moser is a completely vertically integrated company other than the hairsprings, is my understanding.
That's true.
I also think that they may have clasps from the same place that provides them to IWC and Glashütte Original. It's the same, those metal bracelets with the push button. You push the logo of the brand, and that's how
Right.
you do the quick release.
Right.
Those are all coming from the same place.
Yeah.
But in terms of, I don't think China, because the company that actually manufactures those, I think, is like in the German part of Switzerland that does that. But
German China.
it's German.
French China, German China, Swiss China.
All of these bracelets are being made in China. So you basically, but they're able to, share some suppliers. You get a couple of brands together that have synergies. Like, again, if JLC was on its own and Vacheron were on their own, they've been partners before, they could be partners again. So they share some of that back office stuff, and they're not each paying for duplicate things. And again, like I said, to start with, it also lets their size be dictated by the market, rather than by, you must produce X number of watches every year because you fit into XYZ category within the big group.
Yeah.
I think Mobster brings up something interesting. What's more important, creativity and innovation, or manufacturing? I think you can't have one without the other. You can create all you want, but if you can't manufacture it, have you created anything? You can't have innovation if you can't manufacture it.
But no, it's more complicated than that, because if you're a jewelry brand, watch brand, on one extreme, Gucci watches or Daniel Wellington or whatever, your entire competitive advantage may be in manufacturing. You're not doing anything innovative. You're trying to eke out every penny from a commodity watch.
And to add on to that, I mean, think about some of the oldest watch brands that have ever existed. For me, that's, I guess it's Vacheron Constantin. Until 20 years ago, they were completely a tablasseur watch brand. They were designing what they wanted and ordering the movements from other manufacturers. I mean, until the Generation 3 overseas, everything else was a JLC movement in there. They'd be ordered to spec based on the design or the innovation in design. And then they find someone to make the thing that fits the design. And I have absolutely zero issue with high horology brands that choose to do that. Cartier is another example of the same thing. I mean, so many of their movements are Piaget ultra thin movements that are rebranded as MC 1999s or whatever it is. They're masters of design, not of engineering.
I had this conversation with somebody at Cartier just a couple days ago, and I can't remember where I read the article, but I think it was one of the Arnault dudes, like Bernard Arnault. And I think if I understood him correctly, if I understood this discussion correctly, the point that he was making, Bernard Arnault, that it's so much more profitable to be in jewelry than it is to be in timepieces and horology.
Yep.
And they were looking at Cartier as like Richemont's crown jewel, right? Because even when the watch industry is suffering, the jewelry industry is alive and well. And that was actually kind of if I understood it correctly, that was their strategy when they acquired Bulgari. Right. They're like, okay, we actually have like a real jewelry company now, because and you're starting to see the rise of jewelry. Right. So So yeah, the jewelry industry is way more profitable than the watch industry. It doesn't break as much. You don't have to service it at a special place in frickin' Switzerland usually.
Mhm.
And in all these groups want a jewelry brand, right?
Yeah.
Like a Cartier, they want a Bulgari. Like what Swatch doesn't have anything like that. You
Yeah,
know?
Thomas Broadbent, raised a similar issue: the perceived value and profit margin in jewelry. Think about exactly what you're saying there, Blake, and what Thomas is saying. Using again Cartier, and yes, I said Cartier. Take a shot.
Yeah.
Um, but think of think of Cartier as the example, or Van Cleef as the example.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, Cartier, I think, is the epitome of this, because okay, take a love bracelet. A love bracelet requires zero engineering other than 2 screws, and making a gold bracelet that probably has, at any given moment, using today's prices, a love bracelet maybe has between $3,500 and $4,500 worth of gold in it, depending on which size it is. And then they sell it for 2.5 or 3 times just the gold value.
Yeah.
Now think of the watch with all of the extra engineering that goes into that, the machining, the watchmaking, everything else. Yeah, I know they're charging more than 2.5 or 3x on cost for that, but the profitability for jewelry, just in the lack of labor costs, all you're paying for, all they're paying for is material, and some
Yeah.
basic machining. So they survive off of that, like you said, even when the watch market is in the shitter.
And
it makes you wonder why any sane conglomerate, in this case, LVMH and Richemont, would have bought any watch companies.
Something too is like, as watch collectors, like we all know this, we're all very particular and we're all very peculiar, and like we're hard as hell to cater to, right? It's not the same for the jewelry customer.
Yeah.
And something that I was thinking, like I was just talking to a friend and I was like, when the rumors went out that Zenith was for sale or whatever or something, I was like, how freaking sweet would it be if I had like $300 million? First of all, that was what I thought, right? Not for just the reason to buy a Zenith, but, I said something, I was like, oh, I wish I had 300 million or whatever, because I think LVMH purchased them for like 60 million, like in 1999 or something, like a really long time ago. But, these brands need to get reset, right? So the first thing that I would figure out, he asked me, he's like, what would you do if you had Zenith? I would just look at what's going on in the market. Like the secondhand market dictates what these people will pay at retail, usually. So like, how can we get back to the reset button? Like, why the fuck is the Chronomaster Sport $11,000? Because the Daytona's $11,000, like right around. Is that the reason why? Like, but you can find one on the secondary for $7,000. So these brands are getting so freaking greedy with what they're asking for at point of sale, at retail. Like, we need to reset. I know costs are getting through the roof, but if you sell more units, you're going to make more money. Yeah. Right.
But it's also the flip. It's also the flip as well. I mean, the brands that we're talking about potentially going, especially the enthusiast brands that are, potentially better off individual than as part of a larger group, are brands that may need to make fewer watches, in all honesty. JLC needs to make fewer watches. They will become a more profitable brand, in my opinion, if they sell fewer watches. I'm not going to talk about the price per watch, but
Right.
there's a reason why you can go onto eBay right now and find 500 reversos in precious metal for between $12,000 and $15,000. Yet the least expensive one you could get at the boutique is 30. There's a reason why you can go and find steel reversos, relatively modern reference steel reversos, for $4,500 to $7,500, and they're double that. It's because there's so much out there. They've overproduced and made themselves less exclusive. And I think the reason that they were overproducing is they had dictates from their conglomerate masters to get at least X in terms of gross revenues, which means pump out as many watches.
We want to thank Ryan Hofre, who says it's always in my purview to kick Yiddish off. I'm not going to do that because he's got our unboxings. And that's the only reason. No, I'm just kidding.
See, but that goes back to what I said at the beginning.
No,
not kicking Nate off. That large conglomerates think like large conglomerates. And that is, the stock price, how can I convince the analysts in whatever country they may be, that we're going to hit the target, and they treat all of the companies that they own like they're levers that can be pushed the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And the jewelry businesses are not the same as the high-end watch businesses, are not the same as the more commodity watch businesses.
Can you imagine if these brands started doing what's in the best interest of the consumer as opposed to the shareholder? Like, we'd all win.
Well, go find any industry where
I know. I'm living in a freaking fantasy land, right?
Milton Friedman and Jack Welch put an end to that. The customer does not matter. The employee does not matter. The only thing that matters is shareholder value.
Yeah.
That's everything, not with watches. That's why.
Well, if people didn't buy their shit, there would be no shareholders.
True, but they don't see it that way.
Manufacturing, I'm trying to think of an example. If you're making television sets, people are not going to stop buying TVs. People are not going to stop.
We're talking about watches, though.
No, I'm talking about everything.
Well, I'll tell you a quick story about when I was in radio, and you always had the fight between the air talent and the salespeople. And the salespeople would say, if without me, you wouldn't have a job. And we would say, without me, you wouldn't have anything to sell.
Yeah.
And it was always like this. Who's more important? Who's more important? Well, you're both more important because without one, you don't have the other.
Like that.
So it's kind of the same.
That's the same issue in consulting companies. I've been there.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jen, any thoughts on are there any brands that you think would be better off by themselves than part of the group they're in?
Oris. Definitely.
They're already independent, though, aren't they?
Oris is independent.
Are they
Oris
independent?
is independent,
Okay.
so you're fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, Longines, yeah.
Oddly enough, maybe Cartier.
Well, Cartier could certainly survive on their own.
Yeah.
Because as we've been talking, they've got the jewelry part of the brand to prop up any losses they have in watches.
Well, and I think it's interesting, Richemont has cornered two of the largest high-end jewelry makers out there. They have Van Cleef and Arpels, which would be a competitor for them if they were with another company, and Cartier. Like, you've got everything covered from one end to the other, like stupid expensive to people can, save up and buy this, and they do have other stuff. And on the secondary market, fairly affordable. You can buy nice jewelry from Cartier.
Richemont will never let the jewelry parts of these companies go.
Oh, no.
They might let Cartier watches spin out. They might let Bulgari watches spin out, but they're never going to let the jewelry is the bread and butter.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it was smart that they snatched both of those companies up, because, I think they saw, hey, watches aren't going to get us there, but we can get people in the door with really nice jewelry, especially with Cartier, and they have some history with their watches. And I mean, I'm with Nate. Their watches are across their lineup. They're so solid. I don't think there's any company out there that can compete with them. They just can't.
Design perspective. That's correct.
The leather goods industry is just destroying it too right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, frick, you know, like if any of these people just started making their own freaking leather shit, you know, it's
Yeah.
Well,
wild.
and that's where LVMH is on the top end of things. Is
Yeah.
they're known for, you know, trunk making, their leather goods. Same with Hermes.
It keeps them alive. Yeah, it keeps them alive.
Yeah.
So I quickly will do mine because you're going to be surprised, maybe. None of the panelists will be, because we talked about this before, but maybe those of you watching will be surprised. Mine is glycine.
Index, yes.
Here's everybody's chance to buy Zodiac too right now.
Yeah.
There you go.
I can already buy Zodiac. I just go to Ross.
Yeah, glycine, Zodiac, all of that. But glycine is part of the Invicta group. And I would love to see glycine, because I think glycine is getting dragged down by the Invicta group. And I would love to see them back out on their own like they used to be. I don't know if they can make it on their own. Probably not. I don't know financially if they could. But it sure would be nice to see them out on their own again rather than part of Invicta.
Is it even a group if they have two watch brands?
Oh, they have more than two. They have Techno Marine. They have.
Oh, that's right.
There's one other one that I'm forgetting too.
Koisman.
Yeah. So yeah, they've got more than two, but I really would love to see glycine back out on their own.
You don't want to see buy 3 get 7 free glycine?
No, I don't. Well, and if you notice, so let me bring the website back up and look at how they're doing their pricing now on the website. Are you ready?
Oh, please don't make it Invicta pricing. Like,
look, regular $11.80 now $4.95.
Oh
Regular
my God.
$12.75 now $5.40. Regular $12.75 now $5.40. Same thing.
I would
So,
like to meet.
yeah.
I'd like to meet the person that bought it at regular.
Yeah. So yes, they are doing the same kind of pricing strategy, if you want to call it that. I mean, it's not as bad. It's not $1,200 watch for $70. It's not that, but it's still something similar. So that's mine. Now let's get on to unboxings, because we've got plenty of upvotes. We've got, I believe, 38 upvotes. Last Ryan told me, and I believe that's still where we are, unless somebody upvoted here recently. We'll check real quick. And 39. Very good. 39 upvotes. So we got plenty to start unboxing. Nate, how many do you have?
I have two.
Two. And then we've got the Pastrami King with, why don't we do this? Why don't, Nate, you do one, and then we'll have our Pastrami King do one, and then we'll have Nate finish us off for the evening. How's that?
Sure.
You're the finisher, Nate.
There you go. I'm both the fluffer and finisher. Very good.
Yes, sir. Very good.
So
I was hoping you'd get that joke.
Yeah. You were just hoping I kept it to myself. Yeah, exactly. So I ordered a watch back in September that I had to be lucky enough to win a raffle in order to be able to have the right to purchase. I've tried many times in the past and have always come up snake eyes, but I finally was able to get.
Hey.
Oh.
By the way, is that the correct facing, or do I need to reverse my?
No,
my
it's
picture?
correct.
No, that's correct.
Right.
You got it.
Yeah. So I got the new Mad watch. They just came in January from our friends at Max Booser and Friends. And this is the Yinka Lori edition. Grow Your Dreams. And the watch that it came in this really cool box. I'm not going to tilt it more or bad things are going to happen.
Yes, please don't.
Comes with all sorts of cool accessories, like a pin that's never going to see the light of day and stay in the box. It's got like I don't even know what the heck this is. Some kind of it comes with a flashlight.
Yeah, I
like
would
a
assume
blockable-
that's
Yeah,
they wanted to loom it up.
Loom.
Yep, to loom that sucker up. And I got the Grow Your Dreams summer edition. So I'm gonna just put the strap back on it because it doesn't fit that way in the case.
Which makes sense
And,
because it's summer 11 months out of the year where you are.
Yes, it is. This is going to be my new subtle watch for work. If I can get the strap to go on.
Subtle.
It's very subtle.
Mhm.
So put that sucker on here. And let's see if we can get it to show up on camera. It is yellow and green and purple. And you tell the time because it's the Mad 1S. Looking at the side of the watch.
It's a perfect watch for Mardi Gras.
That's right.
It's a Mardi Gras watch.
Yep. It's a Mardi Gras watch.
Looks like
a
Joker. The Joker outfit.
I just love the spinner.
Yeah.
It's just a ton of fun. And what's great is I paid for it back in September. So when it arrived in the last couple of weeks, it didn't break my, Nathaniel is not spending new money on watches rule for 2026.
Pretty much a free watch at this point, huh?
Yeah, at least in my mind. And it comes with a secondary white rubber strap. Everything's quick release, et cetera. And I just sized the bracelet or the straps tonight. I need to resize it because it is still a little bit big. It's one of those where you cut.
Yeah, you have to trim it.
Got to trim the rubber. So I'm pretending that it's an Aquanaut. And it's great. I mean, it's a ton of fun. I'm actually going to wear this to work tomorrow. It'll be its first official wearing other than tonight on wrist. I have not put it on until today.
That and the thinner profile is a lot better.
Oh yeah, without question. This is the one with the Swiss movement in it rather than the Japanese Miyota movement. It is thinner. It's pretty cool on the back too. The downside to that is in terms of telling the time, you can only approximately tell the time because it only has the hours and then it has 4 markers for each 15-minute mark. So,
okay.
And Hoyer
as a timekeeper.
Hoyer Monaco says, "Let's see the face." There is no face.
There is no face.
It's just the spinner.
Yep. Just the spinner on top, and you can tell the time. And I don't know if the camera will zoom in sufficiently to do it, but you tell the time on the side here. Oh yeah, there we go. So this would be
10,
like
15?
9. Yeah, 9. No, this would be 9, like 59 or whatever. I haven't set it yet, so. And it's just a ton of fun. It's more of a an ADHD fidget toy than an actual wristwatch. But considering the fact that I am not in my lifetime expected to be able to go and purchase an MB&F, and frankly, of all of the MB&Fs, the only ones that I would want are the legacy machines rather than the horological machines, which are super cool, but I really don't need a watch that looks like a bullfrog or whatever. This is about as crazy as it's getting for me. And I really do like it. I wound up getting an extra strap in the green and yellow also in case I wanted to wear it as all green or wanted to wear it as all yellow. And really happy with it and really annoyed at how long it took to get to me from when it landed in Miami, thanks to
Oh no,
customs and all the other crap crap.
Yep.
They had it for about 2 weeks as I went back and forth with them over submitting watch forms in order to
Release it.
in order to it literally, I keep sending them paperwork saying, please just tell me how much money I need to give to you to give me my watch. What is the tax I must pay in order to get the thing that I have paid for? And eventually they did. And it was more than I expected, but less than it would have been had the 39% still been in effect. And I'm still hoping for a decision from the Supreme Court that requires them to refund the rest. So we'll see what happens. I absolutely am enjoying I'm enjoying the crap out of this thing, and look forward to wearing it at work tomorrow as it continues to spin constantly, and just annoy the crap out of people in the office, more so than usual.
Is that even possible? Maybe so.
Liberty Spot, the listing next week will not say it comes with pre-sized straps, because I bought an extra strap and that one isn't getting cut.
You see, he's always got an angle. He's always working an angle, man.
$80 to send me an extra strap with the with the quick release tabs, from the artist, and the straps are actually pretty cool. There are these really interesting textures on them from this artist, and I really do like the color combination. Originally, I was hoping to get the water, which is the teal and blue one, but the more I have this, the more, and just watching it spin, the more I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Before we get to our next unboxing from our man Mitch, we want to remind you that we will be having a race at the end of the show. If you want to get into the race, super chat, member chat, gift, memberships. Can I just leave and come back?
No.
Gift memberships. And of course, you can join the channel as well. And if you join the channel, that will also get you into our WhatsApp group where we talk watches and other stuff 24/7. So take care of that and get into the race. And now we've got our next unboxing from our friend Mitch, who is guaranteed that this will be something weird.
Yes, it'll be something completely different.
I understood that reference.
Yes.
And now for something completely different.
It is a generic dark blue box.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know whether anyone wants to take a guess, but
JLC.
Nope. Remember, it's something completely different.
Yeah, so Tudor's block. It's not Tudor.
All right.
Yeah, if Tudor would be, it's something completely the same.
Yeah.
It is.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
you got oh my goodness. I'm not going to say what I think it is.
Let me see if you got what I think it is. Yeah.
Oh, please tell me that it is.
I'm guessing it probably is if it's different.
Yeah, I think I know what it is too.
Good choice, Mitch. Good choice.
I don't even know if they make anything other than this now, but it is.
Really? So it's, you're with a decent veneer box. All right. So let me turn off the light so we try not to get any glare.
Space View.
Space View. Come on.
Space View, baby.
The two wheels at the bottom are the generators of charge. This is an electrostatic movement. And the one on the upper level is an electrostatic motor. Now, it's what I've got mixed feelings about this watch.
Oh boy, here we go.
Because they tell you that the power save mode doesn't kick in until the watch is motionless for 5 minutes. Now that
Right.
might be true, but what they don't tell you is that in order to get the sweep second hand to start sweeping in its smooth electrostatic manner, if you just sort of move your arm a little bit, it won't start. You gotta basically,
Can't do these are not the droids you're looking for. You gotta
pretty much,
You got to
give it
do,
the
yeah, I
whoop.
guess something like that or something maybe.
when it goes into power save mode, it's still keeping time. So
Yeah.
the hour and the minute hand is working, but the second hand resets to 0. And so if you shake it, you've got to wait for the time to get back to on the minute. So I think that's less. If you're like, I tend to sit around a lot because I'm old, fat, and spinally derived. You're sitting around reading, and you
Yeah.
might think that moving your hand to turn a page, it's not enough to keep this thing going. So it's like I was expecting more secondhand movement entertainment.
Can you turn it off?
No,
Okay. I didn't know if they gave you the option to turn it on or turn it
no.
off.
Yeah, because if you turned it off, then it wouldn't keep time anymore.
No, I mean just the power save mode. Just let it run.
Oh, so turn off the power save mode. Yeah.
You can't turn off the power save mode, and you can it'll hack so you can set the time. But it's a little bit weird that way. And I reached out to them because I wondered whether this was defective, and they said no. So
it's not working as intended. Is basically what you're saying.
That's
as I thought it was intended.
See, Liberty Spot has the answer. The problem, Mitch, is you're not Italian.
That's right.
No, being Jewish, it's almost the same.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I used to,
Matzo balls, meatballs, all same.
Hoyer Monaco asked if you can hack it. I think the answer is yes.
Yes, it does hack, but you can't. If you try to wind it using the crown and have that start the second hand, it doesn't work. You can turn it, but it'll smile at you and say, "No, baby, you gotta move. Gotta move a lot." And then it'll work for 5 minutes and shut off again. But it's sort of cool.
But it's a cool watch, man.
It's a very
cool
really
watch.
Is.
I'm very interested to see how the new since they're bringing back the original tuning fork movement. Yeah. First of all, I hope they bring back these specialized batteries because right now those are very hard to get. But I have two of them. Yeah. With the original tuning fork movement, one from 76 and one from 66. No, 64, one from 64 and one from 76. So, and I can get the batteries that work in it. They're just difficult to find and a little expensive. But it would be nice if they start producing those again for that watch. But I don't know. Do they have any models out yet with the new old movement? I don't think they do yet. If they do, that's just now out. But yeah. But I love Accutron. Absolutely love them. But Mitch, that's a great watch. I love it.
Absolutely.
And I think, yeah, that's awesome. And so
looked at this in like 4 days and it's still the right time.
Yeah.
How's the wearing experience on that? I've not actually put one on wrist, but I know that it feels like, or at least from what I've seen, it's much larger than the originals.
Yes, it's big. It's like 44, 45 millimeters, but it basically doesn't have it's an integrated strap. So it doesn't
and
have
it's lugless, right?
What?
It's like lugless also?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. And it looks like it's a nice strap too.
Yeah, it's a nice heavy rubber strap.
I like it. I like it. Congratulations, Mitch. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a fun
They-
watch.
They do have the new tuning forks. Space View 314 is what it's called.
Oh, okay.
And they're
Is that-
about $6,000.
Yeah, so it goes back to the kind of original looking Space View dial where you have the two tuning forks at top and the
Yeah.
green background and all of that. Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. Well, glad that it's out. I'm not don't have $6,000 to go get one, but I've already got two of them. So there. Although mine aren't Space Views.
What colors are yours, Mitch? You have the Evolution.
No, the DNA.
What color is your Accutron, huh?
Okay, so it's got a blue strap and it's kind of a smoked gray with
Yeah.
a
smoked
little
gray
bit
with
of
some
like red
green.
gold.
Share your screen, Jen. Let's show everybody what it
Okay,
looks
let me
like on
pull this
the
up.
website.
I can do that. Share screen.
Yeah, I think this one does not have a super long-term future in the collection.
So
Oh, that's
it's
nice.
Yeah.
very cool.
That's so unfortunate, Mitch, buying watches and then moving them on very quickly.
Yeah. Especially if you're like in my situation where I have essentially almost no local ADs for anything.
Yeah. I actually went to I was in Kansas and Missouri this past weekend visiting with the kid and got to enjoy the one JLC Rolex Patek AD, combined AD, I think in a 3-state area in Kansas City.
Right. If I want to go see a Patek, I've got to go to Kansas City, which is a 4-hour drive from here.
Yeah, that's not short. We go back to our friend Yiddish Liberwachi to see what's next out of the hat. And then we're going to
Nothing
race,
else.
folks. So if you want to get in the race, get those entries in while Nate's doing his unboxing. And right after that, we're going to race it up.
So here's one of the watches that my general rule is the watches that I buy secondhand, they come, they go, whatever. But when I'm lucky enough to get something from the authorized dealer or boutique, it typically is something that stays around. And we have a new boutique that opened in South Florida from our friends at
Audemars.
AP.
And besides, and I had this was actually something on my list. It was not a here, come buy these 18 code 1159s. Nope. I put this on my list in October and got a call for it a couple of weeks ago, and about a week or two after the boutique opened. And I also got some nice swag with it. I got a travel pouch, one of those nice ones, and as one of my favorite things to get, that would be an AP hat.
Looks like a nice hat.
Perfect.
It's a really nice hat. I have no idea who makes this hat. Let's see if it's on here somewhere. It's Varsity Headwear. I have no idea what any of that means, but it's a really nice linen hat. So
Yeah, looks nice.
so I put for my first pieces from getting directly from AP, I put down I only put down like 11 pieces that I'd be interested in.
Oh, really? Is that all?
That's all. Yeah, some of them are obviously, delusional fantasies, like the that Bumblebee yellow gold Fume dial Royal Oak jumbo.
Oh, the one Bubba has.
The one that Bubba has, which is just absolutely one of the most beautiful watches I've ever seen in my life. And congratulations to him on that. That's just an amazing watch. But I've owned code chronograph before. I've owned, a couple of offshores before, and the offshores that I've had have always just been too big, too bulky. And so I had down, Royal Oak. But I did have down one of the new offshores that they just started making about a year ago. And lo and behold, that is what I wound up getting, which is the
that's nice.
the new steel smoked dial, blue smoke dial, offshore self-winding. So it's the non-chronograph version, which is exactly what I wanted, because the chronographs are super thick and just a little bit bulky for me on wrist. This is shockingly an offshore that is the same height as a Omega Seamaster,
Interesting.
which either says something about Seamasters or that this is a very thin offshore. I think it's probably a little bit of both. I wound up getting it with I wound up buying the deployant clasp for it. It comes on a pin buckle usually, but I said, if I'm spending this money, I might as well get the clasp that I want as well. And that would be this watch.
Ooh, that looks
Oh,
good.
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I really like this one. And as as a first piece from the AP house in Miami, shout out to Kelly, the sales associate that I work with there. She's wonderful. I'm really happy to get this as a first piece. And it's going to tide me over for a while because it's expensive. And I just don't have money for more watches at the moment. So congratulations.
Yep.
They figured out a way to get me to stop buying watches. And the way to get me to stop buying watches is apparently sell me one.
Bankruptcy.
That's right.
That's
Bankruptcy. That's it.
right. Bankruptcy. That's right. I'm writing my autobiography. It ends at chapter 11, and it'll have several pictures. This is definitely the one. And I just love the blue dial. And what's interesting is this is the only blue dial watch I own at the moment.
Whoa.
Thomas wonders, is that a composite bezel or a rubber bezel?
It is a composite rubber bezel.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it's very similar to the old rubber clads, but it is definitely a lot harder.
Okay.
So it's fuck rubber type bezel. It's got the white gold.
It's bioceramic.
Yeah, no, it's not. Fuck that. This is not plastic. It's got the all the screws are 18 karat rhodium white gold. The hands and the indices are all white gold. The case is steel. It has an amazing movement, which
Very nice.
It's very cool. Display case back. It's a little bit more than 13.5 millimeters thick. Non-chronograph version. So it's got the black ring around the gasket. And it also has that new quick release system that they finally implemented, which is super cool. I really enjoy that because it also comes with an extra strap, which is nice.
So 42 or 43?
43, which is actually better than the 42s are actually bulkier than this. So this one also comes with a black rubber strap where I've put the pin buckle on. And not only is the strap quick release from the case, the clasps, both the deployant and the pin buckle are both quick release. There's a little metal sleeve on the end here, and you pull up the tab at the end like that, and then it just slides right on. And that's for both the deployant and the pin buckle. Now
that needs to be a standard thing across the industry too.
I originally said that and thought that, and then I realized why that's not necessarily a good idea.
Okay.
Because it's completely and totally proprietary.
Right.
It's like this. It's like you know, of course, I'm going to relate everything back to Cartier.
Drink.
It's like the Santos de Cartier and the Santos Dumont, you know, quick releases. It has a proprietary end component, so you got to get it from them or from one of the companies that's making either licensed it or making the clones. There are a couple companies now that are making
those
straps that fit. Yeah, because there's these metal clips at the end that attach into the watch. I think Deluxe and one or two other places are making it. So God knows me, with the number of straps that I have in boxes, I'll be definitely getting a very shiny, very blue strap, gator strap.
Is Deluxe making straps for those?
I'm sorry, I think Deluxe is making them.
Okay.
I think that Liger Straps is making them. I know there's some people here with very strong feelings about Liger straps.
Right.
And I think there's one or two other companies that are doing it.
I'll say do what you want with your own money, bro. I'll say
right.
that.
So we've got a $2 super chat to get into the race from Anteater. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. We've also got a $2 super chat from Mobster. Great show and unboxings tonight. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. And we are going to get ready to race. So give you about another 1 or 2 minutes if you want to get in. In the meantime, why don't we talk amongst ourselves and pick the free entry this evening, since we had EMC 14,000, but he gave a super chat, so we can't have him anymore because he paid. So let's have a free entry this evening. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm on the AP website right now, and yeah, they want a year's salary for some people out there, for even the basic steel watches these days.
Yeah, this one has gone up a fair bit since they released it in the middle of 2024. Although, you know, and it went up, I think, $1,500 from when I put my name down on the list for it.
I mean, it's crazy what they're asking, even for some of the codes. I think some of the codes are like the cheapest watches. Like you're out 30. That's like the entry point for an AP, like 30 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
for the steel time only codes, I think that they're almost that
28.
Yeah. And then this one is 30,200, which I think is the least expensive of the offshores. And I think the basic 15,510 steel is now like 32, 33. Yeah, watches are getting freaking expensive,
especially AP.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
I wear a G.
Well, let's, you know, you say especially AP, but AP has gone up significantly less than both Patek and, you know, JLC in terms of percentage wise, but Patek in terms of dollars. It's kind of shocking. You know, the least expensive Patek, I think, after the price decrease they just did, is the 5167 Aquanaut on the rubber strap, which, you know, I could tell you what the list price is, but, you know, it's unobtainium. You know, I think it's about 28,000. But after that, it goes up to, I think, almost 40.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm looking at the codes right now.
Let me ask.
Crazy.
Yeah. Let me ask. I think I got everybody in the race. If I'm missing somebody, speak now or forever hold your peace. But I think we've got everybody in there. So we're tonight, because that's just the kind of guy I am. Look at those puppies. Well, oops. It started before I could shuffle, but here we go.
It was a premature start to the race.
See, look at the puppies. Aren't they cute? It's just adorable. That's right.
Chasing a little ball.
Little Ryan Hofre puppy. That's right. And he's in the lead, which means he'll probably pass out. But no, look at that. He's still in the lead. Somebody's got a slingshot here. But so far, up there we go. Now he's fading. Scotty H in the lead right now. We've got EMC or Easy E, and Easy E's the winner. And look, he got the ball at the end with little hearts. Oh my God, I'm just overflowing with cuteness tonight. Oh, so sweet.
He's got a heart on.
Yeah, that's what she said, nerd. Oh, yes, I know, nerd. I know. We want to thank everybody for joining in this evening. Even with YouTube's problems at the beginning, we're glad that you found us, and we're happy that you spent the evening with us. And we will see you next week when I believe, although I still have to confirm this, but we have scheduled to come on Max from the Anachronist. So we will talk to Max next week if we can get that confirmed, which I believe we will. So join us next week for that. Until then, wear your